Greetings and good morning, everybody. Welcome to a marvelous Monday. That's right. The 6-Minute Daily goes live every single weekday at the same time, which is 7:45 a.m. Pacific, 8:45 Mountain, 9:45, I think, in the Central Time Zone, and I think 10:45 on the East Coast, although I don't think there's that much of a gap. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just glad you're all here. It goes live when it goes live, and it goes live because of you. There's a lot of you out there. I just want to say thanks for being here on another marvelous Monday. We have so much to talk about, 27 stories and all. Pretty excited about all of them, to be fair. And there's a lot of non-Troversies in Hollywood. We have to remember that. Stuff that doesn't mean anything. Oh, and by the way, Walter Tomaszewski, I got your item in the P.O. box, so it does work. And we'll be opening that up here on Wednesday. Looks like for $1.99, you want to say you think Versant is a stillbirth? Yeah. Yeah, it kind of started its crater already, and this is the problem. It's also what the global networks are going to be worth when Warner Brothers Discovery decides to shed them. They're going to be worth about $1, maybe $2 per share. So the fact that as Netflix's prices begin to crater, I wonder if you've noticed that. The only valuable offer right now that Warner Brothers Discovery has for their stuff is actually from Paramount. That's it. Skydance Paramount's it. And if they don't take it, they're dumb. And I know that Midnight's Edge in the Morning was talking about that today. And I just want to remind everybody, the money, follow the money. That's what you always do. Follow the money and you'll never be disappointed. You'll always get the right answer. Beach Dad in the house getting a gifty from our friend Ruby Hoof, who gives a Culture Casino membership, along with the Weatherman, who also coughed up membership. Thank you, my friend, for this particular membership. SFX of 314 Sabretooth Raptor reminded me of something. Last night, we had a lot of interesting comments in the chat. So yes, you did kind of vapor lock me for a second. Well done. And the lovely Ruby Hoob drops another $2 to say, have a marvelous Monday, Culture and Culturians. Well, thank you for that. Look at all these amazing beings. You guys look great. Look at this. The chats are going, and they're all over the place, and I have embiggened them so I can read them, including those over on the Green Machine. So 25 seconds removed from the fastest 6 minutes on the internet. No matter where you're watching or when you're watching, I just want to say thank you very much. Double check you're still subscribed. YouTube has been unsubscribing people left and right. My friends over at Black and White Sports have been hit hard. Hundreds of people dropping off there. I'm, merely losing thousands. We're trying to get to 42K. Actually, we're trying to get to 50K. It's hard. Keep taking people away. All right, folks. Here we go. 6 minutes starts like right now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6-Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in, so let's bring up the first conversation, which is the box office. Every Monday, we talk about box office in some form or fashion, or in many forms in fashion. Right now, the only thing in fashion would be Avatar, Fire and Ash, which they're just marching forward with this very positive message that $21 million saves the day. Housemaid had a pretty big fight with Primate, and I don't know who won, but I don't really care, to be fair. Greenland failed in a way that is unique, and I actually may make a video on it later. But its first day out the gate looked like under $1 million in total earnings. That is not good. There's a lot of not good out there, but it's normal. Hollywood is falling apart. Speaking of falling apart, we have our non-Troversy of the day. That's right. You know what that is? The non-controversy. This is bologna sausage being made up for zero reason. There was no backlash over who was Cho Chang. In fact, everybody was like, hey, they were brave enough to actually cast somebody to play this character. And she's saying to this Variety reporter or whoever interviewed her that she was much less outgoing because of the backlash. No, she wasn't. None of this actually happened. I'm getting tired of revisionist history for virtue signaling's sake. We got Godzilla Minus Zero showing up, which means we've been turned back to the Stone Age finally. November release in theaters. Very much looking forward to that. November 6th, day before my birthday. This is a birthday present I'm going to be excited to consume. We've got Adam Sandler promising at least 50 more films before he passes away in the era of growing older, the AARP movies that he's involved with, and how he's participating in the grown-up awards now. We've got the film industry contracting. Oh, by the way, guess who told you that was happening? It'd be me and Pro, Valiant Renegade, Midnight's Edge, and many others. We've been telling you for a while that, well, it starts across television and film are down 40%. Again, another reason why all these television platforms are worthless. Sinners star Wuni Mosaku reveals that she's pregnant. And, you couldn't actually tell probably, but she is. So congratulations to her. She decided that announcement was worth Golden Globes carpet treatment. Kid Harington was genuinely angered because you, as fans, signed a petition to remake season 8 because it was complete dog doo-doo. And I think everybody would agree with that. We've got The Running Man sprinting home to Paramount Plus. That's right. It's already on streaming. That's how badly it failed. And Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista are bickering brothers at that, who are going to battle the Yakuza in Wrecking Crew. If you've seen this trailer, it looks pretty good. We got basically the actual news of the day. Trump is inclined to keep ExxonMobil out to Venezuela, despite them being one of the oil companies that lost assets there when it was taken over by dictatorships. That's not going to happen anymore, but there will be American companies back here in partnership with the existing oil infrastructure. There's a $400,000 payout it's being argued about after Maduro's capture. It's highlighting, some bad practices maybe in the gambling markets. We've got Trump pushing a 1-year 10% cap on credit card interest rates in banks' bulk. Of course they did, because they like to steal your money at the tune of 20% plus. We've got protests raging on in Iran, but people are trying to, pull the plug on that, including the people that are trying to stay in power there. So they're not seeing as much coverage on the internet. Thank goodness for Starlink and X. Lyft and Uber drivers protest Waymo robotaxis. It's about time they wake up and smell the coffee. Drivers don't want to be replaced and want to save or protect a gig economy. And finally, a bear, again, for the second time, ransacks a Gatlinburg candy store. That's right. This is the second time this has happened. We've covered this story before. The Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency is investigating right after a bear ransacked the candy store. I'm going to tell you, this guy has a key, baby. I don't know. It's not the first time, but the store is hopeful that the bear will be relocated from the area. Gatlinburg is one of those locations where you have to be especially bear aware, because there's all kinds of bears hanging out there, black bears specifically. The Glades Homemade Candies shared a social media post on Friday that this is the fourth time, actually, that the bear has caused damage at the store. Photos of the damage show a glass door the bear busted through, an overturned sheet pan rack, and pans that were once full of sweets dragged outside. The store is located on East Parkway if you live in the area. So here's some of the photography if you want to see what a bear can do. And then recognize that this is happening more and more frequently. That's a Saturday update from Homemade Candies. And there's that. So if you're wondering why I do a bear story every day, this is why. Got to protect the bears and the people, because got to be bear aware, especially in the winter when there doesn't seem to have been enough food. All right, folks. We got more things out there to talk about in bonus time. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Hope everybody had a good Monday, a good 6 minutes. And hopefully everybody loves the bear stories. I know that Snort does. Hang on just a moment. Got a cough. All right. Ooh, I didn't cough at you. Cynthia Carter is out there in the audience. Great to see you, dear. Hope you had a lovely holiday. We have the amazing Georgia Peach in the house. Hello, dear. Bears, can remember a food source for like 10 years. Yeah. Yeah. They have the instincts to track down new ones, too. They have an excellent nose, much like a dog, miles of canals of olfactory sensory nerves. I mean, they're very efficient at finding food. Again, this is an animal that when it comes to the I think it's hyperphagia, where they have to eat like a Olympic swimmer does, so like 14,000 calories a day. So there's that. Griffin's View says, going to try one last time. All right. What are you going to try, Griffin's View? GRY. I hope everybody's good. Oh, you sending me a news story? Ah, there we go. Griffin's View says, holy 60 years, Batman, back on January 2. Thank you, Griffin's View. 1966, the legendary Batman TV show starring Adam West and Burt Ward debut on ABC. Right, Robin. And Cesar Romero was the Joker. Yes, he was. In fact, didn't even bother to shave his mustache. They just caked over it. There was a lot of people on that show that kept their little bit of humanity that they were known for. And, makeup was applied aggressively, let's say. The 66 Batman became a classic and seemed to have aired forever, but it didn't air for very many years and is fondly remembered to this day. And Adam West's Adam West's last public appearances was on the show Big Bang Theory, where he played himself and talked about the days of yore, saying that he was better than Nolan's Batman, played by Christian Bale, which was interesting. Lots of good folks out there in the chat. I hope everybody's doing well. I want to say thank you to Griffin's View once again for finding today's history. I hope that was satisfactory. You guys are greatness. Maritime Rodent says, wow. Culture Casino, wow. Good morning. Good morning. That's right. Hey, you guys familiar with this sports league called the WNBA? Are you? Hey, what's up, Barry the Music Man? They don't seem to understand how union negotiation works because they are finding new ways to step on their own feet and trip over their own shoes and then throw up on them. It's been really, really bad. If you're a fan of the WNBA, and there's like 6 of you out there, so there's not many. There's really only one person that you can call a star that the audience will recognize as a star, that the majority of human beings have heard their name. And that's the only person that's going to bring people into the building until you develop more quote unquote stars. It's a perception problem because you have a viewership problem. And if you aren't having people view your product and you don't have networks and such paying for your product, you're not going to generate revenue that you think you deserve, which I'm getting tired of the revenue demands associated with the WNBA. Might just be me, but my friends over at Black and White Sports have been covering this for a few days, and as the negotiations between the league and the union continue to fall apart, I'm going to say it's not a good look to try to turn the negotiations for massive salaries out of a social media perspective, because nobody cares. Nobody cares what you think, despite the fact that you think they care. And I think that that's one of the big problems the WNBA has, trying to create all these social issues that they're fighting, and not just for actually getting paid more money. And let me tell you, they don't look good turning down lots more money, which they've recently done. So there's that, just for fun. All right, let's see who else is in the chat and who showed up today. Lots of people. In fact, there's somebody crazy generous out there, which I do appreciate. As holy cow, Maritime Rodent says, for 20 gifted Culture Casino memberships. Thank you for that, Maritime Rodent. Is that Sea Rat? I don't know. But thank you very much. Look at all these amazing gifties. We are very thankful for all the gifties out there and the 20 people that just turned green on our way to 1,000 members on a, well, potentially 50K channel here in the next couple of months. Let's see if we can get there. But thank you so much for the massive gifty fest, my friend. Maritime Rodent in the house. Speaking of amazing friends, we've got Richer Merchant in the house from, well, the belly of somebody's location where things happen in Hollywood, waiting to see if ACA federal audit could impact Hollywood negotiations, could expose some things. I think we'll certainly expose some things. And I think you're right. I think a California audit should expose lots of issues. It's so funny to see people like Gavin Newsom and Karen Bassboat try to say, "Oh yeah, we know there's all these billions of dollars in fraud." We bet in the second part of that sentence they never say, which is we know that because we've been participating in it. Yeah. See, that's the problem is everybody knows, and they already know that these people's families members have these NGOs where this money is going and they're living off of. You don't become rich on a job. This is the same thing that you can argue with for, people in Congress. You don't get rich from $174,000 a year. That is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But that's not getting you rich. It's not changing your value, your worth, right? That's all done behind the scenes, doing a lot of things that are shady. That's where that comes from. So I think you are correct, Archer. I think we're going to see a lot of shadiness revealed. And one more time, another quick thank you. One more time from Maritime Rodent saying, wow, Culture Casino. And I'll say this, gifty, 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 gifty. Thank you all so very, very much, especially you. Oh, what a day, folks. What a day. Jake Tapper, maybe one of the least genuine people in, what we will affectionately call the fake news media. Affectionately, Jake, you're fake news. But let's do this and say that he spent the better part of 2 days trying to steer the narrative towards, the justifiable attempt of running down an ICE agent in a vehicle and not recognizing that the vehicle itself was actually a weapon and was weaponized, which is why, unfortunately, that person's no longer with us. They've also been trying to hold this person up as a standard in some way, as a mother, although there's a lot of abuse claims that came along with how she treated her children. The problem is that once all the information comes in, oftentimes you are, you're excusing things. And again, this is my X window, Twitter window. But as you can see here, I mean, you can watch this. It's out there. It's a CNN clip. George Bonilla actually put it out there in the world to watch. And as I look at this, the 4,000-pound vehicle is a very effective weapon. We watched somebody drive a minivan through a group of humans, and that did not turn out well for the humans. And again, they like to say they never mentioned the person who committed that heinous act, nor did we hear very much after the fact. That tells you a lot about the narratives that are being written and about the fact that they're devaluing the value of human life, which I find rather disgusting. But yeah, this anyway. You can go and find this clip. George Bonilla has put it out there, or Jorge Bonilla, if you prefer, probably the way he says his name. But Tapper just looks like an idiot, right? And you're going to see a lot of stuff coming out of MRC with their logo appearing on, well, my show on the podcast I do called "Thank You for Your Attention to This Matter," the political podcast. And as that becomes its own channel, you'll see even more. Media Research Center, I know, is more right wing than anything else. But you'll also see clips like this. And when Media Research Center takes something from CNN, you can't call it skewed news anymore, can you? Because it's a right wing source that's bringing you a left wing fake news perspective, and it exposes them at the same time. I'm very tired of the gaslighting, and I'm very tired of Jake Tapper getting away with it. And I'm surprised he's not somewhere else, to be fair. I'm surprised he still has a job. But then again, maybe all those things change when you change ownership. Has the driver's wife been arrested yet? Not to my knowledge. Texas 84. Not to my knowledge. It's insane, though. B312, thank you for this, saying, Jake Tapper, you are not good person, you. That's right. You sound like me now. Careful with your word choice. Very, very good. Very good. Yeah, it's just, this is insanity. Is Janet in the house? I did not see Janet from another planet. Yes, I did. There she is. Hashtag me too. Check out Janet's channel. She's super fun. She's a good follow too. So yeah, these are the long-term people that I've known for the last 6 years. Yes, that's right, folks. 6 years. 6 years officially in 5 days. 5 days. Technically, I started the channel before that, but I hadn't put anything on it. And the original video was laughable, which almost always happens when you're a new creator. You don't know what you're doing. I got better with everything after that, and some of my professional editing ability showed back up eventually. So there's that. We got another mention here from our friend Ram Bam 3000 saying, hey, when it comes to perps, when there is no description, that's the description. Yeah, you already know what you're dealing with. And that's the problem, right? You already know, depending upon the kind of protest and the action that's taken, what kind of wackaloon you're dealing with. Again, when the mainstream news or the lamestream news or the garbage fake news people are out there covering it and trying to present the events in a skewed way, which is they do every time, because a lie goes halfway around the world while the truth is trying to put its pants on. Jake Tapper is the pipeline of bad information. He always has been. He is a straight up liar and lied about the condition of the former administration's leadership, and then had the audacity to write a book about it, claiming to have known all along. What a douchebag. CNN's audience is conservative hate watching. Maybe. I don't know. There's really not much of an audience, so to speak, but there's that. We can support good movies by sharing them and buying tickets. I agree with you 100%. In fact, we've got a person out there in the audience that actually makes films and sent me one, which I got yesterday from the P.O. box. Let's see. Stunt Brat wants to know who drew the colorful bird logo. Well, the tiki was originally presented to myself and my business partners, Toxic Man Flu and Comics Division, by an artist who did all the tiki versions of us in Comics Division. Jaffo. You actually find Jaffo in the chat from time to time. Jafo. And he actually put that together, and then we asked for him to add color, which he did, and then that's what became my hat logo, the bird logo that's on my shirt, and some videos that you'll see from time to time, and things like that. A very talented artist indeed. Speaking of talented artists, Janet's a talented artist. So I'm just saying. There's my good friend John, the Beagle Dad, in the house. Good to see you. Beach Dad was here, so that's good. And the very lovely Stunt Brat, who I appreciate so very much. I still look at everybody's Christmas cards are over on my magnetic whiteboard, and I get a chance to look at that and everybody's letters and kind words during my medical situation. So I'll just say thank you for that. Yeah. By the way, the heart monitor that I was wearing for the final time was turned into the heart location today. So I am no longer wearing any monitoring devices of any kind other than my Fitbit or an Apple Watch. And outside of that, it's just going to be, drones and cameras and stuff following me around or statically positioned as I start to really get to work outside. Because, well, it's spring. It's springtime, the only ring-a-ding-dime. Sweet lovers love. That's a little bit from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Toe Box says, awesome Jaffo lore. Yep, nobody knows that. Jaffo did some amazing artwork for us. And I have a friend in Australia that I very much admire, another artist that's done some black and white work for me. If you've ever seen some of the stencil things that get put up in the background, Chow Yun Fat and stuff like that, if you ever see that during the course of a news segment, that's an Australian creator down there that I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal. But I'm very grateful to the community because there's a lot of you out there that are very artistic and willing to share. So some of you don't charge at all, which I'm like, you are crazy. You're a pro. So, yeah, we got a lot of pros out there. Did CC's heart monitor show evidence of having the heart of a bear? I don't know, but what it did show is that some of the things that the cardiologist was concerned with don't exist. I don't have a lot of the conditions that were going to be like the worst case scenarios that would lead me to have more events like I had not that long ago. So I benefited from excellent doctors and excellent work by doctors. And you know what? I'm very thankful to my doctors. And if they ever come across my channel, many of them know that I'm a podcaster. I want them to hear that I appreciate them. And the nursing staff at the hospital were brilliant. I have been blessed by many dedicated professionals that just care about other people, which, believe it or not, my previous contact with a lot of traditional medicine was not very positive. So, and again, I'm not one to get sick. I rarely, if ever, get injured, and if I do, I rub some dirt on it. So I'm one of those guys. It's hard to get me to go to the doctor. So even if were to get the sniffles or something, I'm unlikely to visit one. But I have more faith now than I've ever did before after my last event. So. Yeah, and honestly, praise God for recovery. Indeed, yeah, Stunt Brad. I said it at the time. I'll say it once more. I count my blessings every single morning, and I make my prayers both morning, noon, and night because it's important to me. You are important to me, so I pray for many of you as you go through your trials and tribulations, and I pray for the rest of you because I want everybody to have a good and satisfying day with all those gifts showered upon them. Anyway, it is what it is. Hey, we got a lurking slot, says Shadow Seeker. You are fine. I like the lurking, folks. There's no lurker's tax here. I'm not Epic Mike, but there's just a attitude of gratitude, and you'll hear a lot of us say that. But we have it. Pro's not the only one that says it. Jonas is not the only one that says it. We are grateful for all of you. You keep us running. You keep our channels running. You keep me in retirement, which I appreciate. And pretty soon, the gardening channel is going to keep some people I know in more vegetables because I'm expanding another 1,800 square feet of greenhouse space and the restructure of about 800 square foot of another greenhouse. So We will have 3 greenhouses on property by the end of spring. I'm very proud of that. Let's see. We have a lot of people here. Oh, I didn't want to miss this one. I'll get to everybody. Rebecca Gold is here. My friend Ian makes great content. You can check out the Rebecca Gold channel right now on YouTube. I want to say that this is the man I want to be when I grow up. And if he ever invites me to do a role on one of his films or television productions, I will be there. So, and yes, I have been very blessed, brother. Yeah, glad you are well. I am too. Recovery was amazing. So I should rub dirt in my stunt injuries. There you go. Yeah, and by the way, the stunt brat really was a stunt person for quite a while and has a pretty lengthy and impressive list. So at least from the stunt people that I know, so it's pretty amazing. And let's see, we got Archer out there again saying some of the issues with California negotiations can be, in my opinion, they should be open door with members present, reasonable expectations, no NDA. Yeah, again, when you want to negotiate in secret, or if you want to have secret ballots or things like that, you're going to open yourself up to scrutiny of, having your arm twisted behind your back. There's a lot of stuff, and if you've ever been involved in a Hollywood union, if you've ever worked as an actor or actress for scale, which is something I was trying to explain last night, which I did rather poorly. But look, if you're on a small production, $810 a day is that's the difference between being able to eat and pay rent and not, for a lot of actors early on in their careers. So California is one of the most expensive places you could possibly try to live, especially the Los Angeles area. The only place more expensive in California, I think, would be the Bay Area, to be fair. And San Diego has a lot of benefits. I'd rather live down there, but at the same time, who wants to commute 2 hours to work if you have to work at a studio? Bigger conversations, of course. Let's see. And Ram Bam 3000 with another 2 pounds, Sterling. Thank you. Says, by the way, Manwu Mosaka is pregnant at 39. Yeah, late term pregnancies are something that need to be monitored very, very closely. I had some other thoughts about this, but if it was helped along by a doctor, I see more of that happening. But look, in my family, my grandmother was, I believe, almost in her 40s or very close to being 40 when she had my father. And that's an interesting story that I don't usually tell. But again, back then, we weren't eating a lot of fake food. We weren't being subjected to anything other than probably cigarette or cigar smoke in that household. And people just plain lived longer with better genes. We need to examine why that doesn't happen anymore and why 29 to 39-year-old people are dying at such excessively high rates. One fact I learned the other day, and this is not to get into a political discussion, my folks and friends, is that I learned an interesting fact 2 days ago. Approximately 1/3 of the current generation, Gen Z, let's say, have died already. And the cause of early expiration is really sad to me. Maybe not to others, but that was because of early termination. That's not a good statistic, friends. So, anyway, react to that if you will, but I don't think anybody could agree that that's a positive thing. I think you should do everything in your life with intention, whether it's dating, whether it's pursuit of your calling or just your work, pursuit of anything, including children, should be intentional. So if that young lady at the age of 39 is going to have a child, I hope that was with intention, and at that age, I would expect it would be. So there's that. Robert says I missed his super chat. Robert, I want to say I got your movie box. I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to do that on camera on Wednesday, and then I'm going to watch it. Putin, what's up, buddy? He said, why is this is different? What is happening right now? Where's the cat? Anyway, Putin says 39 is not that old. Okay, fair enough. Cat slaves in the house. Good to see you. Let's find our good friend's super duper chat. I think I probably did miss it. I should be punished. Watch out. Tony Piacente with absolutely bonkers and very, very generous. Thank you, Tony, for 10 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you for that. My goodness, folks. We're well over 30 members today, and we're on our way to 1K members. We've been there before. Let's see if we can get there again. I want to say thank you for that generosity. And there's James, Robert James's films. You should check out Robert James Films and what he does. In fact, I still can't recommend enough you check out what the power of independence can create. And again, it's something that's free on Tubi. You don't have to pay for anything. You can check out 15 days. That's right. It's a 15 days over on Tubi for free. And saying here, hey, CC, did you get my film? Yes. Is today the day? I'm going to try to get to it by the end of the week. Actually, I have videos ready to release. I got ahead of myself because I'm going to try to help some other people this week who are going to need it. So, yeah, and I've taken on additional responsibilities on Wednesday nights after the pro show. You're going to see myself and Lou Wasserman's Ghost on the Hollywood Backlot with Lou and you over on, well, one of the many sister channels to Pro. So there's that. Looking forward to it. What else is happening out there? I know Vash returns at some point this week. That's exciting to me. I love Vash. He's a good guy. And I'm grateful. Like I said, I've met some incredible people here. And I love all of you in the chat. I think you guys all know that. Let's see. We got people on the green machine over there. It's great to see him. Ms. Pitt Cafe is working her little fingers off. Thank you for that. Dr. Jill Powers is everywhere. Look at all these great wrenches. I am so blessed. Juliet is across the pond handling everything in the UK and beyond. I appreciate that as well. And of course, we've got Morgan King, the warlord, up in Canada, trying to get me to go up there and enjoy snow. I don't know. Anyway. Bill, what's up? Bill Blum is out there. Says almost unbearable. There he goes. There you go. Wait, don't have Tubi? Tubi's free. You get Tubi on Roku. You get Tubi on your phone. Get it on your computer. It's free. Free. I like free. I don't mind a few commercials if I get it for free. Speaking of free, Texas 84 in the house for another 5. Culture Casino Cash saying, started watching Fallout. It's a bit intense. Well, the first season, I would say, was very good. And it felt like it was reinforcement of existing lore. The problem is I don't trust Nolan and Joy. This is the Nolan that's married to Lisa Joy, who destroyed Westworld. They started out good. In fact, something Gary and I agree on, Nerdrotic, we agree on and have said out loud, both of us at various times, multiple times. Westworld was one of the best high-end television shows ever made. Of course, I said the same thing about the early seasons of Game of Thrones. And of course, I was a huge lover of The Wire. Notice these are all HBO shows. Now, Fallout's a little different. They went to work for Amazon, and Nolan and Joy created an interesting world. Now, as always, they lean heavily on the heroine, which is fine. They are all into female empowerment. Okay. But there were more stories there than that. And there was more faithful treatment in the first season of Fallout than I expected, especially of the Brotherhood. So going into season 2, I was skeptical. And because of the way it's being released, I have not yet jumped on that train to watch season 2. Some of you have. Some of the people have told me that they wouldn't be watching it except for Walton Goggins. I agree with that. So there you go. And there you are. So I will catch up to you, my friend. I'm glad you discovered it. And like I said, it was really good. Walter Tomaszewski and Juliet at the beginning of the stream. Well, let's take a look because we love Juliet. And I think I got Walter, to be fair. I think I did. Cece, you think Versant is a stillbirth? I think so. And I think Comcast knew it would be. And again, this is the same thing I was commenting on at the beginning of the stream. I'll say it one more time. When you look at Warner Brothers Discovery trying to split off, it's the same thing. All these companies that are trying to spin out these new ventures are trying to get rid of dead weight in debt. They're spinning out their debt. And that's what Global Networks is for. The problem with Global Networks is they're going to own a lot of debt and they're going to find themselves a junk status real soon. If you watch what's happening to Netflix, they're on their way to the ground really fast as well. They did a 10-for-1 split, and I think they've lost about 30% of what they spun out as. So that's not good. But yeah, I think Versant is stillbirth indeed. And I think that the Global Networks, when it spins off, will be that as well. But David Zaslav's trying to protect a second blast of revenue into his pocket by trying to get rid of that and keep these deals separate. So I have to keep it 100 with you guys. When I'm seeing, I would think of it as malfeasance, but maybe investors aren't paying that close of attention or don't see it the same way. But I think Global Networks is worth somewhere between $1 and $4 a share max. And I think it will descend down into the $1 status and be delisted faster than we can imagine. So everybody's argument that I've been hearing is specious, that, the deals between Netflix's offer and Paramount's offer for Warner Brothers Discovery are vastly different for that reason. You're going to preserve more of the company and more of the rights and more of the things that you're interested in, keeping it all together than by spinning it off. There's an argument to be made for spinning off debt, but like I said, it's not my thing. I don't understand the value of that. And I don't think investors will either. I think if you are, somebody who benefited from Versant coming out of the gate, you're probably looking to sell it and take that money and run. I would. So once again, Maritime Rodent, thank you for your generous gifty. We got 20 Culture Casino memberships. And of course, Tony Piacente for 10. And we had many more, like Ruby Hoove gifting a Culture Casino membership. And of course, we've got lots of friends out there who are always there. And I appreciate you. Let's see. Who else? Who are you? Who? The strange thing is believe it or not, I do not see Juliet. But I do see Maravita, who celebrated 8 months of membership. Quick update. I am heading to Cabo. Yes, for a wedding soon. And then I'll be getting my gallbladder test shortly after my return. Otherwise, doing well. That's fantastic. I hope you are doing well. I worry about you guys. It's good to hear from you. And of course, Tony Piacente has been around for 10 months. Thank you for that. And thank you for being here and being as supportive and generous as you are. Doesn't the WNBA lose tens of millions of dollars a year? Yes, they do. Where does the money come from? Well, the NBA. The NBA owners own the WNBA. There's no money being made. The WNBA has never made a profit. The idea that they want a revenue share is hysterical to me, because they don't even what they should be. People should openly talk about, okay, we'll have profit sharing, because it loses money every year. The cost per player. Some of these players would owe money to the league if they did that. I think that's probably a fair way to expose these people for what they are. But that's just my opinion. And Juliet, I believe you may have contributed before the stream grabbed anything, which is sad. I'm sorry about that. I'm scrolling to the top to see if I can find it. It happens, though. It happens. Maritime Rodent. Let's see. Look at all these. Furry kitties in the house. Good to see you. Magnify. What's going on, Tom? The lovely Penny. Juliet says hi to Read by Nature. Look at all these amazing beings. Oh, we are so blessed. Godzilla -0 news was great. Yeah, I'm very excited for Godzilla -0. I think we all should be. Daniel Alpine, what does it look like to be the most possible outcome for the Warner Brothers situation? I wish I had Korean cheerleaders, Texas 84. But I still think that Paramount's the most likely scenario, because I don't believe Congress is interested in handing over the destruction of Hollywood and the production of culture to Netflix, which is already compromised extensively by China and other foreign actors, just because of the way they're structured and because of their partnership with the Obamas, which is still not great. Popsicles in the house. Good to see you. It was the usual greeting from Juliet. Okay, well, thank you, Juliet. We love you. We appreciate you and your support. All right. Christian Fandom Geek is in the house. There's a person that I appreciate that's been around forever. Says, my Jedi powers are stronger than yours. Well, it was great to see you over the weekend, and it's good to see you talking football to the masses. So, yeah, the Force is my ally. Well, the Lord is my ally, at least I hope. Always look to the skies, my friend. Anyway, it is what it is. We've got quite a day in front of us. WDW Pro, of course, will be talking and engaging with you all in various forms. We've got coming up next that Park Place live, starting up with our friend. I believe it'll be Marvin, but it could be anybody. I don't know. Maybe Vash is coming back, and Christian Fandom Geek says, I love Jesus. Me too. Me too, brother. DIY redirect to that Park Place live. Thank you, Ms. Pickoffe. Always telling people on the green machine that some of us don't automatically redirect to another green machine channel. I'm going to tell you, if they had one, it'd be easier to do. And I will just say this. I appreciate every day that is made, each and every day. On that note, I will let you guys all bop out of here. Go check out today's video or videos. There are more videos on the way that are already done, just waiting for release and promotion. And there will be more done today, since I seem to be on a roll. With that being said, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others. And until next time, don't forget Sherry's Crab Shack.
Are you tired of the same old buffet food at Wang's? Have you had enough dong to last you a lifetime? Well, take just a few more steps past those single-minded restaurants and dive into Sherry's Slam and Clam. Sherry's Slam and Clam Shellfish Bar is truly all you can eat, unlike the 2 shrimp limit that stingy bastard Wang has. In a hurry, let Sherry stuff your box. To go! Be shellfish and take all you want from Sherry's Slam and Clam. Located next to the 3rd Street Bolorama, Sherry's is open 6 days a week. If you are looking to slam clam, get to Sherry's today. Are you tired of the same old buffet food at Wang's? Have you had enough?
Okay, I don't know why it ran twice, but I do want to say this. We had a late super duper chat from our good friend, the First Dragon Queen, who is really starting to click on her channel for 5 Culture Casino cash, saying, getting ready for a massive restoration project. Hugs for all. Hugs to you. And as always, mahalo beach punks. And I love you, Stunt Brad. Thank you for your lovely Christmas greetings. On that note, see you guys.